So I did not realize that I had so many operations throughout my life, and that I had survived so many health issues, which I believe if it had been somebody else, probably they might just end up protesting against God for all the health struggles. I don't know where this is coming from, because it's a long time since I ever thought about it. I'm brought back to the day when I had been accepted in a company when just freshly graduated. And I had to get a health report. And the doctor was asking for my health history. And it was not until I started listing down all that I had, I was suddenly made to be aware and realized what I was saying by the bewildered face he had staring at me, eyes wide open, mouth open, and all that you could think about being amazed, And he was like, what the heck, you had all that? And I started getting confused, because I thought everyone experienced the same thing in life, just like the time I used to think that everyone's dad's hand had burnt hands, just like my dad. Welcome back, and if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. We are here to share guidance and stories and everything to do with life. Take what resonates for you. So my dad was an electrical engineer, and on one of his operations, when he was going to work, he got an accident and he got electrified, and both his hands got burnt, and he had to go for months without using his hands. They were bandaged for months, and later on the scars still remained on his hands. So that was the image I had of a father, my father figure, because I thought all dads hands were like that. I didn't know that it was only for my dad, because his hands got burnt. And it was the same thing with my health. I thought everyone was just like me. Everyone was I thought everyone goes to the hospital all the time. They are in the hospital all the time, because all my life it seems like I've always been in the hospital, and it's still the same thing almost. It's not like I'm unhealthy or anything. There's always something to be seen to every time, and I have to see a doctor. But sometimes I go to the hospital and they can't make any kind of a diagnosis. And people are just looking at me like, what am I doing in the hospital? And there is nothing wrong with me, but all the symptoms seem to be showing on me. But they cannot diagnose what is wrong with me. Anyway, that's another something else to do with spirituality. And that's the reason why I keep having those. It's almost just like, what is it? What was it? Yeah, there was a name about an illness that which is unknown, and it can hardly be treated. Something like that. I will look up the name later on. I'm not able to look it up right now. I don't have internet. Yesterday night there was an accident at the internet station, and they still have not repaired it, and I don't have internet right now. Anyway, so that's what I used to think. I used to think people go to hospitals all the time, and that everyone also has almost the same amount of operations, just like how I did. But it was not like that, and I was yet to find out And to imagine that I realized that after all those years of age, that's what I've been thinking, and yet it wasn't like that, because I still had that mindset up to my 30s. And I can't imagine for how long I had been ignorant about such a thing and having that belief and mindset all my life. I had, to be precise, for example, I had an operation while still a baby. I was the fattest baby in the family, and after that operation, I never got weight. I was always slim. Then at 8, I had a navel operation because of constant pains. Again at 8, I cracked my head skull and had my head bandaged for quite some time. And then at 9, I had my soft palate cut. Then at 12, I passed out while I tried to jump from one wall to another because my late brother had challenged me. And I couldn't remember how I felt later on. Then 25 years, I had a piece cut from my breast because it was something like how do I say? It was a fibrosis or something like that. No, it's a cyst, I think. Then at 30s, I had fibrosis. A very big piece was taken from my uterus, almost like a baby. It was around 2 kilos. And all because I had a lot of stress psychologically because of studies and all that and about life. And I couldn't make out some things of what I was living and experiencing. So I ended up having fibrosis in my uterus, because when you have stress, you're more likely to get fibrosis in your uterus. And that is a whole lot of another experience even then, because I was exercising and it was not obvious. My stomach looked flat. Otherwise, I might have looked pregnant if I hadn't been doing exercises. So it was pushing behind the intestines, and it wasn't being seen until one day I went to the doctor for something else. It was a normal checkup, I guess, but they found out that I had this thing. And then I got scared and they had to operate me. And it was good that they operated me. And then I had lost my first baby and had to have abortion. It was a hard period of time. I bleeded a lot. And it was a very trying experience, because with those health issues, I had to face other issues as well, dealing with some kind of narcissistic kind of a treatment from some loved ones. And I had 2 cesareans, and they always had to cut the same spot. So it's almost like as if I've had 3 babies from cesarean. But it's just I have only 2 kids. So it seems like most of my life has been spent in hospitals. This is something I never gave any attention to, and that doctor made me feel kind of weird, like how did you survive? Was what he was asking me, and I had no answer for that because I was thinking it was normal, and yet here was somebody who was looking at me like I had lived so many things that which nobody else could have lived. Maybe some people can resonate with this, and I believe it all was probably because of all the psychological pressures I was experiencing, which within years I ended up always researching psychology, which helped me through all my challenges. I'm thankful and grateful for that guidance. So why am I putting this out? I believe that no matter how many trials we go through, we should understand that we are resilient and know that we would pass all our tests. Because if we could pass through all that, we can easily pass anything else. Because I believe all those were just tests. Because those times when I used to have the operations, especially the one, where was it? On my breast, I guess. Yeah, it was very trying period. I was exposed to a lot of other very sad things as well. And I started realizing that everything was not as how I thought it was. And some people were not as how I thought them to be. And so this is a reminder to tell us that we can always pass our tests, and tests are just temporary. So if things are seeming like getting tough, just know they are working out for your own good. We are always in some sort of boot camp of the Most High that trains us to be resilient over all challenges coming our way. You were created to be resilient over any trials, and God knew that you would pass through all of them. You are strong no matter what comes. Even if you feel like you are dependent on other people, just know you will always make it through. And those people had been sent by God to help you out, maybe to help you out realize some things, realize some lessons, or become even more stronger, or even to support you. So just know you are strong no matter what comes. Even if you feel like you are dependent, like you are a shield. You are a shield, like a strong shield. Not only are you a shield for yourself, but whomever is with you also gets blessed to be shielded. Whoever collaborates as well too in support of any kind, they too end up being strong, because what you have is contagious and is meant to be shared with the rest of the world as a gift from the Most High. Whatever difficult situation you have, you can always overcome that. You should also be mindful that all that is just illusions and temporary. It will soon go away, and you will always be safe as long as you stick to the right path of the Most High. And keep moving forward. Look ahead and do not look back, because all that you have experienced is all in the past, and God has something much better for you right ahead of you as long as you move towards it. Keep your vision ahead to your goals. Keep focused and know where you are heading, and be mindful of distractions. When you are focused, you realize that all the trials and errors are nothing but stepping stones that make you much stronger each and every time. And every time you feel like you feel like you fell, is just a step you have taken behind to look closely at what you have, to have a clear view of how you could go about things and ways. It is not a failure, it is just a pause that teaches a lesson to be learned. Learn from it and use it to your advantage. You will always win as long as you have faith, even for the unknown, which you might get anxious about. But it is okay, because you always ask God to show you what you should do next, and that keeps you moving forward. And that is your advantage over anyone who thinks is competing with you, because you move with the light of God, and that is all that matters. To do what the Most High favors most, because it is for your own good. And that's our guidance for now. And I would like to thank all new subscribers and old subscribers as well for all your support. And I hope this helps someone to realize how lucky they are, and that God really loves you in all ways, no matter how hard or tough life might seem to be. So have a good day. Take care. Much love, and God bless to all of you.